Hello and thank you for returning to MMA Alerts. The UFC 309 reactions are going to kick things off today. What were your impressions of UFC 309 as the event came to a close? We can go into reactions to the major event now. Please hit the like button on the video before we go any further, it will much appreciate it. Praying hands before their UFC 309 bouts. Jon Jones and Charles Oliveira were spotted together. Get this clip here. Tom Aspinall has arrived at UFC 309 cage-a-side. After his fight was postponed, Chris Weidman addressed the situation. His words are presented here. "Excuse me, what's happening here? Hunter Campbell called me just now to tell me that my altercation with Eric Anders is off. How disappointing. Unfortunately, Eric Anders will not be able to compete in tonight's bout due to an illness. I am really disappointed, you know. During this bout I felt fantastic. Oh, I was prepared. This is happening at the same time that my mind is racing. I was on the verge of entering the arena. Joined my family in saying our prayers just now. It was great, you know. The prospect of performing at Madison Square Garden filled me with pure joy. I am absolutely devastated, but yeah. I simply wanted to send my best wishes to Anders and hope that he feels well soon. Also, I'd like to say sorry to everyone who came out to see me, whether it was friends, family, or admirers who shelled out a pretty penny. Battle tonight, which, regrettably, will no longer take place. This is terrible, and I apologize. As for what comes next, I'll try to keep you all informed. Your unwavering support is much appreciated. Observe caution. James Yontop and Mauricio Ruffi are in legal battle. A unanimous verdict went to Mauricio Ruffi, who prevailed over James Yontop. The community's thoughts are presented here. Yontop is the kind of competitor you want to retain around following a courageous effort like that, according to Aaron Bronstetter. However, he is likely to go 0-3 in his UFC career. Got into a fight on short notice with an opponent no one wanted to fight and pulled it off. While Ruffi's game is exciting and risky, according to Luke Thomas, it relies too much on flash and not enough on steady attacks. He's great and doing great, don't get me wrong. A more offensive rhythm would help him though, so I'm wondering whether he wouldn't benefit from reducing some of that. According to the matchmaker, Yontop was almost benched after the weight miss, but he managed to salvage his career in the third round. According to Henir Cejudo, Ruffi's future in the UFC is bright. With an intriguing fight, Nolan King said, Ruffi is a blast. Yontop is quite challenging. That dish was absolutely wonderful. Ruffi 2928. Ruffi is striking, McMillan added as Conor McGregor watched. Ruffi confronts BSD. According to MMA, Mauricio Ruffi defeated James Yontop by decision, according to the MMA expert. Yontop is as tough as nails, but his entertaining manner hurts him badly in the second round. Too bad he's now 0-3 and on the verge of being benched. The fight was closer than it appears to an expert observer. You can beat him. Karine Silva plays against Viviane Araujo. A unanimous verdict went to Viviane Araujo, who prevailed over Karine Silva. The community's thoughts are presented here. Araujo 2928, according to Henry Cejudo. War was fierce. Apparently I spoke about Silva too soon, according to Steffi Haynes. Silva discovered it after ending the round. According to Aaron Bronstetter, Viviane Araujo defeated Karine Silva by unanimous decision. Great victory. According to Jedi Goodman, in the last 12 women's fights, Araujo is the first underdog to emerge victorious. Paul Craig vs. Bo Nickal Jr. After 3 rounds, Bo Nickal prevailed against Paul Craig by unanimous decision. The community's thoughts are presented here. What the fuck was that? Derek Brunson asked. According to Ben Fawkes, the commentators have now moved on to saying that Bo Nickal had only recently discovered mixed martial arts, therefore it's clear that the bout wasn't good for him. Her Nickal didn't completely floor us with her performances, perhaps for the best, according to Sean Sheehan. Big changes aren't in his future just yet. He just needs to keep himself occupied and he'll soon feel at home there. Plenty of benefits remain. Additionally, Ben Fawkes mentioned that he is beginning to believe that Bo Nickal is engaging in the common mistake of grapplers who acquire striking skills but fail to recognize that it is not their primary focus. It appears like Paul Craig and Strickland are going to have the wildest fights ever until the cage door shuts, according to Bilal Muhammad, who was speaking during a press conference. Nickal is attempting to prolong this for a number of reasons, including to acquire additional cage time and a chance to execute his stand-up routine, as pointed out by Luke Thomas. Doing that is something worth your while. Still, we can't start moving him up the contenders' queue just yet. He requires a great deal more experience. Bo, according to Max Griffin, should deliver more tonight. Steffi Haynes advised slicing them in half. Nickal 2928 Henry Cejudo stated, "Nice to watch Nickal getting better at standing up. Significant victory." McManley stated, "This isn't Bo Nickal's best performance by far. He believes that Nickal is hiding his true wrestling colors in his pursuit of another highlight reel knockout. I don't believe he's afraid of Craig in a wrestling match." "What the fuck?" Alaquinte exclaimed. "Avoid Nickal. I would prefer not to have my strike brought up ever again," Dylan Dennis declared. According to Steffi Haynes, Bo, that was not dominance. The performance was mediocre. What actually occurred is completely at odds with those two characteristics. The judges all agreed that Charles Oliveira was the winner and Michael Chandler lost. So here's what the mixed martial arts community thought. According to Derek Brunson, Michael Chandler is completely insane. Absolutely must-watch media. Box office. According to Billy Quarantillo, Keith allowed Chandler to land all the back of the head shots since he was losing 4 rounds. According to Max Griffin, Chandler had a master lesson with Charles de Bronx tonight. Wow, that was quite an exchange, according to Aljamain Sterling. "Man, that was rough. Referee is not responding. Wow, what a wild turn of events," Sadiq Youssef exclaimed. "Well, that's 56 bullets to the skull, but hey, is the new rule that Trevon Jones mentioned minus 40 blows to the back of the head in effect? And Steve, are you kidding me? Crazy 5th round in a co-main," Alexander Rakic exclaimed. The Bronx, according to Aaron Bronstetter, scored 4-9-4-6. Despite Chandler's best efforts, the quit was not to be located in Oliveira. However, Michael Chandler deserves praise for his determination and self-sufficiency. His time at MSG was filled with magical moments. Chandler, according to Billy Quarantillo, had his moments. Chandler may have won that battle, according to Ben Fawkes. He had the opportunity, yet he let it pass him by. Give credit where it is due, Dylan Dennis remarked. Chandler believes he demonstrated a lion's heart. "Hate is something I just cannot tolerate. Due respect. Total dominance." Tracy Cortez declared, "It was quite a battle. Best wishes to the reigning champion." Michael Chandler is one of the few boxers who constantly delivers genuine moments, according to Shaheen Al-Shadi. "It was quite a battle." Who could anyone dislike this? I mean, right now the fight to make is Michael Chandler vs. Paddy Pimblett, according to Sean Sheehan. Do you believe Chandler wishes he kept waiting for Conor? Asked Corey Anderson. "Even if Conor returns, I highly doubt we will witness that fight at this point. To ensure you don't miss a single day of MMA news videos, subscribe and enable notifications. Case of Stipe Miocic v. John Jones. Round 3 saw Jones knock out Stipe Miocic. The community's thoughts are presented here. According to Aaron Bronstetter, Drake won a wager. Damn, Mike Bond thought, as he watched John Jones tackle Stipe Miocic to the ground. John Jones and Aaron Bronstetter both stated the same thing. A stunning spinning back kick that sets the stage for the conclusion. "It was really unpleasant," Bilal Muhammad remarked. "I fractured my ribs." John Jones gave an outstanding performance, according to Sean Sheehan. "There is no better heavyweight than him." John Jones submitted Stipe Miocic in the 3rd round with a spinning back kick, according to Brett Okamoto. "It was outstanding. Jones appeared stunning as always. My heart is breaking for Jones and Tom Aspinall if the UFC can pull off the fight. We need it for the sport. If you ask Henry Cejudo, John Jones is and will remain the best boxer who has ever lived." The Kick 108 Diaz remarked, "How come Stipe seems so sluggish? Stipe said, "Express your thoughts aloud." The Bone Crusher, Johnny Bones Max Griffin, stated. In Georgi Kyrgyzvili's opinion, Stipe Miocic will come out on top this evening. This guy, who is 42 years old, challenged Jon Jones to a fight. 2 U's. No one does it better than Chris Cyborg, he declared. Every time Jon Jones enters the cage, I enjoy seeing him. I felt like I was back in the Jake Paul fight, Sadiq Giuseppe remarked. I won't retire anymore, Jon Jones adds, adding that he is curious to know Dana's and Hunter's desires. According to Jamal Hill, that was typical dominating play. Hats off to an incredible person named Stipe. Aljamain Sterling remarked. To this day, he remains the best heavyweight of all time. Crazy, as Dylan Dennis put it, how this little fangirl who wanted a picture years ago become a respectable boxer. Jones looked fantastic tonight, Francis Ngannou remarked. Johnny boy. I can feel your success. They seem to be fighting. Incredible performances, well done. Important remarks. Royal Mail is sent to British citizens on their 100th birthday. Jake Paul offers you a battle in the United States. That it would become a completely uneducated parody of combat sports is beyond anyone's wildest imagination. The idea of comparing Jake Paul, a former social media star turned boxer, to Mike Tyson, one of the all-time greats in the sport, is nearly comical. After dominating an entire period of the sport with his savagery, power, and unequaled talent, Tyson, now 60 years old, is a living legend. His legendary status in boxing and beyond endures despite the passage of time since his peak. Conversely, YouTuber Jake Paul has dabbled with boxing thanks to his celebrity, but he is still a novice in the sport. Although he has been successful in drawing crowds and creating excitement, his fights lack genuine competitiveness and are more aimed at providing entertainment. It would be like comparing a weekend warrior to an accomplished artisan to compare Paul's accomplishments to Tyson's stellar career. Even in this day and age, a fight between Tyson and Jake Paul would not be fair. With Tyson's natural talent, skill, and strength, it would be crystal evident who deserves to be considered a boxing legend. Fighting a legend like Mike Tyson, even at an advanced age, is an honor, not a reflection on Jake Paul. A loss versus Tyson should not be viewed as a stain, but as a cautionary tale. If Jake Paul wants to be taken seriously as a boxer, he needs to fight and win against legitimate opponents, not influencers or former mixed martial artists. He has yet to achieve the level of success that Mike Tyson achieved, and his career thus far has been nothing more than a spectacular show. 58 years compared to 27 years. Dude, people need to feel shame. Everyone is familiar with Mike Tyson. Presently, he is in his twilight years. He battled harder than we are due inside the ring. Props to Mike for paying attention. No one should ever leave their grandparents alone. Jake Paul is going to issue a fight challenge to them.